Okay. Alright guys, this is Ken Sawyer here with Precision-Aero. I've had requests to show how to reassemble the stand after you finish it. Of course you have to take everything apart. Getting it back, just a couple of little tricky steps. But this is the point you want to end up at after putting everything back together. You want to take a wider leg and the shorter, narrower leg with two notches, and they bolt together like this. Now the spot, and then you'll want to put the stretcher. These are numbered when you receive them, corresponds to the number that's in the notch, and that's where you'll want to put the stretcher back after you make these two assemblies. But where you can go wrong is that when you put these together, you want the countersinks on there, and then your threaded inserts. You want all that to be on the outside, and then the narrower leg on the inside of the wider leg. And then you'll use the 2-inch bolt and 2 washers and a nut for each side. And it goes together like this. Put the washer on the bolt, sides together, the washer, and then the nut. Now you do that for the other assembly, which will be the opposite of this, and then you can attach the stretchers according to the numbers with the threaded screws. And I have the drop piece today. Now after you got it to this point, just like this, you want to flip it over. We're going to now put the bottom tray in. We take our bottom tray with the notches facing up to you and towards the center of the assembly. And then you've got the holes, and you've got the recessed hole. So you now take your 2 1/4 inch bolts, which are your longest bolts, one for each side. Put the bolt through, put the washer on. Just screw the nut on there, push it back. Do the same thing over here. Put the large washer on, then nut and push it back. And bring this assembly down here and push that into that recess. And do the same thing on the other side. And really that just helps hold it while you go and get your 7/16 wrench, and a narrow one is always best. And a number 3 bit works best for this 1/4 inch screw. Hold the nut and then just drive the screw through. It'll go all the way through. Then we go do the other one, and we knock everything off the table. Put it in the recess, and it'll just hold it in position for you. Then you pick up everything you've dropped and hope you can find it all. And the workshop didn't swallow it. Okay, then you take your short, or your small washers, sorry, put it over that. And then put a nut over that. And then tighten these up. And usually when the bolt's right to the end of the nut, it's usually tight enough. And what you want is you want it not too tight, but just snug enough that you can take your fingernail and move that washer. And fold this right over. Stand it up. Oh, don't forget to put your turn button back on, your locking turn button, which holds the bottom tray in storage position. And you can adjust your tension with the screwdriver just so it doesn't flop around a little bit more. Stand this out, turn button out, let this drop down, push it back, and that's locked in position. Now we'll put the top tray on. You want the top tray like this with these arms, and this is the top when it's open. You want this against here, so the bottom is facing out. Then you take your two big washers and your 1.5 inch bolts, put it through here, put the washer on, lift this up, just screw it in by hand. Okay, and you can just let go of it, nothing will happen to it. Leave a little play there so you can do this side like that. Line that up, put it in. Now what I've started doing is recommending to people is put a little bit of blue Loctite on these two bolts. This is the only ones you have to do it on. And it'll stop these backing out from, but you know, you really only have to do that if you have a problem. Don't make these too tight either, because you'll get too much friction. Then you can flip your top over to the open position. Reattach your hinges to your T's with the shorter of the screws. And these are numbered as well, 1 and 2. And the corresponding number is on the recess here. You put those in. Take the slightly longer posit drive screws. These are used in cabinet making.
Sorry, I'm on the wrong side.
And I won't put all these in just to save time on the video. Then you can go ahead and attach your